That's it. I'm going to use it. Good.
Just shooting a video showing how you're gluing these in one at a time. Good thing you're wearing your clean sweatshirt.
Yeah, I went and wiped my fingers on it a few minutes ago. It started to, and stopped myself in the nick of time.
But hide glue washes out really well, right?
Yeah, and stains.
Ah.
Looks good.
You're saying these are spaced out a little bit more because you're trying to make the top a little bit looser?
Yeah, I want a slightly more tenuous grip. That's after response. After response. I'm willing to trade, which is how, in my opinion, it works. I'm willing to trade a bit of sustain for increased response in this guitar because it's a flamenco guitar. That's what they are.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you're really looking for sustain in flamenco.
No, not at all. And it's all quick decay in flamenco. Guitars already are a quick decay instrument. So really, when you're talking about guitars and sustain, it's almost an oxymoron.
Well, they have a fair bit of sustain, but I mean...
Only compared to guitars with less sustain.
Right.
Compared to a double bass, they have no sustain at all.
Ah.
People say, but isn't this process tedious? This thing of hand fitting the peonies?
Mm-hmm.
I don't find this tedious at all. I find this interesting the whole way because each one is a unique fit, and I get to space it out. I do it all by eye. I mean, if I were doing it with measurement, it'd probably be more tedious. But I just it's like art. It's like a really nice process for me. It does, sometimes I look at it and I go, well, it's going to take me an hour and a half to place these 60 blocks or so. This one a little less, because I'm spacing them out, and I'm hoping to lose maybe 5 or 6 blocks aside. But I find I really enjoy it. And each one, I get to make sure each one is fit and sitting in there snug and all looking good, so it's a joy. A single loose block can mess the guitar up.
Well, the advantage of this is you also don't have to do a lot of work sanding the rims or sanding whatever in order to make sure you get a good fit between the top and the sides, because each block is quite solidly secured.
Well, I'm not sure about the truth of that. If you look at the inside of the rim and the outside of the rim, you will realize that I have cleaned up the inside of this rim considerably to enhance this joint.
Well, sure. I'm not saying that it's completely non-fitting. I'm just saying that, if you have a solid lining all the way around and you've got a radius top or something, you need to sand it and get it so that everything...
Well, look at this block carefully.
Right.
It's not a 90-degree turn.
Right.
It is an 89-degree angle, or 91, depending on how you look at it. Because what I'm after with the block is I'm after it having a little more grip on amounts to the inside edge of the block than on the outside. The outside is going to get cut away when I bind it.
Exactly.
And the glue is going to get forced into any discrepancy that's there when I do that glue up. So what I'm really after here, because this is a dished top.
Right.
I have it clamped down flat on the work surface I'm working on because it's so close to flat that I can do that. But in reality, I'm after it fitting more to the inside. So the blocks actually have a slight angle.
Right. So you get your optimum connection at the outer edges.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry, I talked too much. I got distracted. I have to cut this one.
It's just going right on top of the brace there.
Yeah. I'm going to re-glue it. hide glue is only good for seconds. So
Right.
if I hesitate like I just did, I need to redo it.
And you trim the top off so that you maintain the maximum contact at the bottom of the block, is what I'm assuming.
Well, I've over trimmed that one a bit, but it's acceptable. I'm after the tops all being in line, just so it looks pretty if anyone ever looks.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you tried to leave the bottom glue surface at its maximum.
Oh, that
so.
too. Yeah. Well, yeah, that plays, but that's not
Yeah.
how I do it.
Okay.
The bottom glue surface on these that's just to keep the brace tip from springing, because otherwise, I mean, it doesn't really need that block.
Okay.
I don't know if what I said is as true as I felt like when I started to speak. By the time I was done speaking, I thought it was less true. I would be putting that in anyway. I could conceivably leave every other one of these out and the guitar would still work fine. I have seen guitars made like that. And it would save me 45 minutes, which, you know, if I were a bean counter, 45 minutes savings. All right, let's do it. But the next thing you know, I'd have a CNC machine.
Well, you could also save the 45 minutes by not cutting and angling that flat brace up there at the top.
Well, I could save about 4 minutes, yeah.
Well,
But it adds up. I know what you do.
yeah, yeah. So it looks like you're going to run out of them before you get to the end of the side.
Not to me. Looks like I might, but I'm going to bet I won't. No, I've got enough. It's 7 or 8 blocks, and I have eight blocks. So I'm thinking I'm right in there. What I've learned is that I can reach into my bin of these. See, these are all hand split before I start. I mean, they're rectal when as they're cut. I can show you in a minute if you like. But I reach into the bin and I grab a handful, and I have learned to grab the right number. I just, more times than not, I grab the right number of blocks. Sometimes I'm 1 or 2 short, sometimes I'm 1 or 2 long. And then I split all those blocks for one side, and then I do the other side. And this is looking like I may have actually hit it. And if I haven't, it's not the end of the world. I got more blocks.
Right.
And in fact, I better have more blocks because this is only one side of the guitar. And I was kind of guessing a little more than normal because, of course, I'm spacing them out a little further. So I did try to grab a few less blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I did not count them, which I ordinarily do, just to keep track. I mean, what are you going to do while you're doing the blocks? I count them. This time I did not count the blocks. But this is one of the components of what I call mastery, is this ability to kind of spontaneously get it right. After all, I am winging it.
Mastery or experience, I think it's two
Well,
sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and I might be 1 block short. It's looking like I am.
Yeah, it's probably that one you mistrimmed for over the other brace.
Did that happen? So soon I forget.
Yeah.
I thought I had 0 failures so far on this guitar. Usually I allow for 3 or 4 mistrimmed blocks. So I toss them, cut them long. This guitar has less. Yeah, there's 3 more, and I only have 2 more. I am 1 short.
We can look around on the floor.
Well, I can just finish cutting the blocks.
Well, that's true. You have this whole box over here of unsplit blocks.
That's right.
There you go. See, I only have to split 1 more.
It's just a little game I play. It kills the time while working. These last 2 blocks are going to be spaced a little close together. Oh well. They're in an area where I don't mind that because already this end of the guitar is pretty much what I call acoustically dead.
Yeah, I was going to say you're right up against the...
So I'm going to space those a little closer together.
Mm.
Here's what I do. I reach into the box. I grab a handful of blocks like this.
Although in this case you only need 1.
Well, that isn't enough. I failed. I wanted to show you how I do it, but I did not get it right. However, I'm going to split one block. Goes this way. Chisel goes here. One block. There we go.
So that's one whole half side done.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole half side to go.
Mm-hmm. You can see this blocks. I'm going to grab a few more. Try that.
And start splitting.
And when I split the blocks, actually this is not the chisel I want to use to split the blocks. So I'm doing that right. But I want to use a different chisel because I don't want to jam that one into the wood. It won't kill the chisel, but will dull it. So I have this chisel that does this job. Then each of the blocks I have to examine it and make sure that I'm splitting it the correct way, because I split this way, never this way. And so I have to flip the blocks around. Like, see, that one's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I flip it over. You can see that one's backwards. Another little game I play is while I'm looking at them, as I'm looking down at this block, which is turned to how I'm going to use it, I get subliminal messages about which way the parallelogram works, and I try to put it down then, and I failed on that one. I try to flip it over in the correct direction the first time, even though intellectually I cannot see which way these blocks are turned. I do believe my hit rate's 4 out of 5, which is pretty cool.
So you rip them in a long stick and then just...
I rip them in a long stick. I trim it in the table saw a degree and a touch off.
Right.
And then I cross-cut them this way. And I do them in groups of 6 sticks.
So you don't have a chop saw, do you?
I don't use a chop saw, and a chop saw wouldn't do it because it's too gross.
Right.
I use a table saw.
Oh, okay. So you just run them with your sled and just...
I don't use a sled.
Miter gauge?
Just my miter gauge. Okay. And I use the same saw for cutting these off as I do for doing the fret slots, because it is the finest cutting blade I own. Because I don't want any grain tear.
Right.
I want them to go, because it's all about the clean work.
Sure.
The clean work, which some people believe I do not do, but I do my best to actually do the clean work. Bill Collings, I hate you.
Okay, so that means I can't post this video.
Oh, yes, you can. I'd tell him to his face. And he would laugh with me, because he would know what I mean. Or not. And if that's not the case, I don't know him as well as I think I do. And I do think I know him that well.
Yeah, I doubt he would be sitting at his bench splitting blocks.
No, but the point is that he is responsible for a revolution in guitar making, where the super clean work that most of us do try to do it's generally attributed to his up-leveling of the game.
I see.
Yeah. There are criticisms that I could make of Collings guitars, but one of them is that the workmanship in them is just a bit too clean for my tastes. And I try my best to match it, which I can't really do because my guitars are a little arty for being that clean, but I do my best. He's not doing this split block thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that his guitars are high glued, although I've heard that he's doing something new to compete with the Martin Authentic series. And it may be that those are hide glued, as the Martin Authentic series allegedly are. And when I say allegedly, I don't mean that I think they're not. I just mean I don't know that they are.
Right. Well, and the difference is whether they're hide glued from a little pot made up in little tiny batches and kept fresh, or whether they're...
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Now for the other side.
No, I can't actually do the other side right now.
Perfect.